Well, good morning, East Alabama and West Georgia. Early on your Saturday morning, April 1st, 2023. And while I wish this was an April Fool's joke, it is not. We have a brand new tornado watch that has just been issued for a large part of central and East Alabama and northwest Georgia. This tornado watch is going to be in effect until probably 8 a.m. The verbiage says 8 p.m., but I don't believe that is correct. Probably 8 a.m. this morning. We'll confirm that in just a few moments. But it is a new tornado watch, and this is going to cover in East Alabama the following counties in our coverage area. That would be Carroll County, Cleburne, Calhoun, Talladega, Clay, Randolph, Coosa, Tallapoosa, and Elmore. Now, it does not cover Heard, Troup, Harris, Chambers, or Lee County of our coverage area at this time. And that may change a little later on when the storms get a little bit closer to us. As I zoom out a little bit, you can see that the storms are still pretty good ways away from us, probably at least an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours away from us, probably somewhere around 6 a.m. Central before we start to see these storms in East Alabama. We do have a few small scattered thunderstorms that are developing out ahead of the main line that are now stretching right down I-59 down to around Birmingham from about Fort Payne all the way back down through Gadsden, but those storms are not severe. We've got some scattered showers already taking place up into Anniston and maybe down into the Oxford area. But the main story is up here in northwest Alabama at this hour, really right along the up across the Tennessee Valley region of northeast Alabama near Fayetteville, Tennessee. We have a tornado situation taking place up there, pretty significant situation at this time. This is a tornado warning for Lincoln County in Middle Tennessee and Franklin County in Middle Tennessee until 4 a.m. this morning for a couple more hours for that storm. Then we have a severe thunderstorm warning for North Alabama. This is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 4 a.m. for Jackson and central Madison counties of North Alabama. Then we come back down the line a little bit further, and we have a tornado warning now for central Marshall County in northeast Alabama, southern Morgan County in north central Alabama. That warning is in effect for about another 15 minutes or so, and that is for a severe thunderstorm near Falkville, Alabama, that is producing a tornado, or it's capable of producing a tornado, about 8 miles south of Hartselle, moving to the east at 55 miles per hour. That's crossing over I-65 up there now near Hartselle, Alabama. And then as we go down to the southwest, looks like they're beginning to warn for this entire line. We have another severe thunderstorm warning for northern Walker County in central Alabama and Winston County in northwest Alabama until 4:15. Then we also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for about another 16 minutes for southeastern Marion, northeastern Fayette, and in northwest Alabama. Then we have multiple special weather statements over in Mississippi. So basically we've got some type of either warning, either tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning, or special weather statement, just about for every segment of this line of storms that's moving into Alabama. Now, this is not unexpected. The only thing that's changed since you went to bed last night is the line has slowed down just a little bit. We expected to see this in northwest Alabama. You'll remember we have a high risk of severe weather up there in northwest Alabama, and then as the line of storms moves across the state of Alabama, we believe the line will be weakening. You see that enhanced risk up there in northwest Alabama. Then we have that slight risk category, basically from Tuscaloosa to Birmingham to Anniston. And then south of that, we're looking at a marginal risk of severe weather. We still think we will see these storms weaken some as they move across Alabama this morning, and we're hopeful that they're below severe limits by the time they make it down in here to East Alabama and West Georgia. But, folks, that's not a guarantee. There is that chance that since the storms have slowed down a little bit, they're going to be coming through right around daybreak. So the instability should start to increase again as the sun comes up. So there is that risk, though I think it's low, but there is a risk that we won't lose the significance of these storms. They may still be quite strong, if not severe, when they come through. And though I think the tornado risk is much less across East Alabama and West Georgia, it's not zero. So we've got to keep that in mind as we watch this line of storms march across the state of Alabama this morning. So that's just kind of a quick update. I know a lot of you are, your phones are going off. Those of you that have NOAA weather radios, they've been activated this morning. You're getting those weather alerts about this tornado watch that was just issued. And I wanted to jump in and give you an update on what we're looking at this morning. That's a brand new tornado watch that has been issued by the Storm Prediction Center, and it is in effect until 8 a.m. this morning. Just got confirmation on that. So if you're looking at the text of the watch that maybe came to your phone, it says expiration at 8 p.m. That is incorrect. It is in effect until 8 a.m. this morning. That's Central Time, 9 a.m. Eastern. And again, in our coverage area of East Alabama and West Georgia, it covers in Georgia, Carroll, in Alabama, Cleburne, Calhoun, Talladega, Clay, Randolph, Tallapoosa, Coosa, and Elmore. It does not cover, at this time, Hurd, Troup, Chambers, Harris, or Lee of our coverage area. And the Columbus area is not involved in this watch either. Now, when the line gets a little bit closer to us, could those counties that are not involved now be added to the watch? Absolutely, they could. And if the storms hang on to their intensity, I would expect that they will be. We'll just have to see how the storms behave as they continue to march across the state of Alabama this morning. Tremendous amount of lightning up there in North Alabama. A thunderstorm possibly producing a tornado crossing over I-65 now just north of Coleman, between Coleman and Huntsville. No confirmation. Let's see what the latest verbiage from the Weather Service is on this. Just bear with me a second. Winston County. That tornado warning has expired, by the way. Yeah, I don't see anything new on that tornado warning up there. The last tag I saw was tornado possible on that one. So that's what we're looking at this morning. That's exactly what I expected to see some of you say. Just got tornado watch from Weather Radio. Woke me up, came here from Floyd County, Georgia. Well, good morning, Northwest Georgia. Good to have you in here with us over there in Floyd County. And yes, I'm confirming what you're getting on your radio. A brand new tornado watch has just been issued for good chunk of Alabama and northwest Georgia. In Floyd County, you are involved in that tornado watch. That goes until 9 a.m. this morning. Basically for that line of thunderstorms back over in northwest Alabama. We've got a few storms developing in East Alabama, northeast Alabama, that's working into northwest Georgia, but that stuff right there along 59 is not severe. That little cluster of storms that's going to rotate into Georgia just north of Rome is not severe, pretty much headed toward Dalton. The severe weather is back across north central and northwest Alabama. Basically, between Hartselle and Coleman over here on I 65 is where our possible tornado is at this time. Yeah, that's what we got going on this morning. Hey, Mike, good to see you this morning. Yeah, see, that's how those weather radios work, folks. You see, there's several people in here now that was rattled out of bed this morning by that NOAA weather radio. I preach it all the time. That thing will wake the dead, and best $30 you've ever spent. Get you one. Could very easily save your life. Crackford, Alabama's in the house. Good morning, Heather. Center Chapel, there on County Road 87 in Randolph County, Alabama. It woke me up just like it was supposed to. Jumped about 10 foot in the air when the radio went off. It will now. It's ear piercing. I mean, it will wake you up, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. Alexander City. Good morning, Beverly. Ann says that she has hers on the other side of the room, or has hers in the living room, and they're on the other side of the house, and it wakes them up. Yeah, it will do that, and I typically don't suggest that you put it in a different room, but they are loud enough. If you're a light sleeper, it's kind of like a smoke alarm, actually. Don't know that it's quite that loud, but it'd be close. Good morning, Ryan. Walmart, Roanoke Walmart in the house this morning. Good morning, Christy. Heather says it'll wake the dogs up, too. Good morning, Alexander City. Good morning, Sharon. For those of you just tuning in, we have a brand new tornado watch up. You see there on the screen the graphic of the expected severe weather possibilities this morning in the state of Alabama and over in the state of Georgia. We're looking at, and this is the only thing that's changed since since I was live with you last. They've kind of backed the timing up a little bit. Now it looks like 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. across East Alabama, 7 to 11 for Georgia. And you can see the threats there on the screen. Enhanced risk is what we're seeing right now across northwest Alabama. We anticipate that these storms will start to lose some of its intensity as they move into the Birmingham, Anniston, Tuscaloosa areas. And then we're looking at a marginal risk across East Alabama and West Georgia. Hey, Nick Potts. What is sleep? I'm not sure I know what that is anymore. Swag. Randolph County, Alabama in the house. Yeah, I said that just a few moments ago when I first started, Mike. I said I welcomed everybody to Saturday, April 1st, 2023, and that's what I said. I said, I wish I could tell you that this was a bad joke, but it's not. Valley, Alabama. Hey, Kelly. Peggy watching us this morning from Daviston. Jackson Morgan, good morning to you. All right, so currently we have a line of thunderstorms moving across, actually it's already cleared northwest Alabama. So if you're up there in places like Florence, Russellville, Hamilton, you're in the clear. The threat of severe weather has ended up there. Finally, the severe weather has moved away from the Memphis area. My goodness, folks, they were hammered all night long. A lot of damage yesterday and into the overnight, really from concentrated damage. I'm talking about from Memphis all the way up into Wisconsin, back over into Michigan, down into Indiana, Kentucky, Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee. Yesterday and into last night was a red letter severe day across the Plain States and even into the southeastern United States. We currently have one tornado warning in the state of Alabama, and that is going to be for this storm just north of Coleman. It has now crossed over I-65 and is going to be well south of the Huntsville area. And this is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. From the Weather Service, a tornado warning remains in effect until 3:45 a.m. for west central Marshall and southeastern Morgan counties of North Alabama. At 3:34, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles east of Falkville or 11 miles southeast of Hartselle, moving to the east at 55 miles per hour. That was the last update about 6 minutes ago. It is radar indicated. We've not received any ground truth reports on it just yet. Yeah, I'm noticing, too, over the last couple of volume scans, we're beginning to see some scattered showers pop up now from Tuscaloosa to Birmingham to Gadsden, out I-20 from Birmingham back over toward Anniston. I'm not so sure that's not a good thing. Any rain that we can get out here ahead of this line will help cool the atmosphere a bit. So maybe we can get some showers going over here and assist in relaxing the atmosphere so that these storms will indeed start to fade away as they move into East Alabama. Now, we've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings. They're basically a warning for this entire line, even up into Tennessee. We're looking just west of Chattanooga. We have a severe thunderstorm warning. Severe thunderstorm headed into the Scottsboro area of northeast Alabama. That tornado warning just south of Huntsville. Then we have severe thunderstorm warning covering Coleman all the way down to Jasper, Fayette over in northwest Alabama, and then special weather statements even back into Mississippi with these storms that are associated with this line of showers and thunderstorms that are moving to the east this morning. Jesse, yes. Just the simple answer is yes. If you live in a camper, a mobile home, anytime there's a watch issued, whether it be tornado or severe thunderstorm, you should evacuate and go to a safe place. Now, I can tell you this morning the storms are still at least an hour, probably more on the order of an hour and a half away. But the best rule of thumb is to go ahead and do it when the watch is issued. You don't want to wait until you get closer to the storms, because there's always that chance you could get caught in your automobile trying to go somewhere else, and that would even be worse. So, yes, the answer is when a watch is issued, whether it's severe thunderstorm or tornado, that should be your threshold, your trigger to go ahead and evacuate to a safe place if you live in a camper or mobile home. Hey, Pat Smith in Penn, Alabama. Good morning, Diane. Miss Diane, let me tell y'all something. For the last 4.5, maybe 5 years, It does not matter what I post on Facebook. Miss Diane is going to say thank you. And, folks, that's just special right there. I'm just telling you. She takes the time to say thank you on every single thing I put out there, and I appreciate that, Miss Diane. And, yes, I've noticed it. Hey, Michael, good morning. Northeast Alabama. Good to see you, Michael. Good morning, Sully, Dr. Diane. That's okay. I have the same problem with keyboards. I know what you meant. You should see some of the stuff that comes out of my fingers. Don't anticipate going staying wall to wall with you right now. It is 3:45. I'm probably going to hang with you for about another 5 minutes or so. And then we're going to continue to watch this, and as conditions change or when the storms get a little bit closer, then we certainly will go wall to wall with you. It is early, Nick. I think I got 2 hours of sleep. Checked out around, I don't know, midnight Central, and was rocked out about 2 a.m. Yeah, Michael, that Radar Omega is some cool stuff, and I've gotten to where I start to use that a little bit more and more. I especially am intrigued by the 3D views that it gives you. Pretty good stuff. Yeah, good morning, Caitlin. Yeah, we've had a lot of severe weather. We go through periods. I know um, media is trying to scare folks to death, and they do it more and more frequently, talking about how storms are getting worse, and we're having global warming is causing all of this severe weather that we're having. Folks, weather comes and goes in patterns. We have years when it's very active, and then we have years when it's not very active. And the last couple of springs have not been particularly active. We have had some severe weather, and we've had areas that have had a lot of damage in the last couple of years. But so far, this year has been very active, but that's not unusual to have a threat of severe weather every 3 or 4 days for 4 to 6 weeks during the peak of severe weather season. That's not uncommon, and I think that's what we're looking at. I believe this severe weather season is going to be very active, and it will continue now through April and into the first part of May. So, yeah, don't take what you read and see on the from the national media with a grain of salt. That's all I got to say. Y'all gonna mess around here and get me on my soapbox again. Lake Harding in the house. Good morning, Scott. Will I be able to go fishing this morning? Absolutely, you will, Scott. At some point. If you're going to stay real close to shelter, and you're willing to risk, now I don't know what your case is. Your boat may stay in the water, but if you're about to put your boat in the water, or you're going to put your boat in the water, if you're going to stay close to the dock where you can get off the lake, then you could go. I mean, you got probably a good 2 hours down there on Lake Harding before any of this stuff gets to you. But now I don't want you to go out there and go way away from the dock and get yourself out in the middle of the lake, and then here comes a bad thunderstorm. Best idea is just to wait until this stuff clears the Lake Harding area before you can put your boat out there. But the point I'm trying to make is you got a couple of hours before the storms get over there. And then I don't think we're not looking at an all-day event. Probably an hour, maybe an hour and a half of showers and thunderstorms. And then once that main line clears the Lake Harding area, you're good to go. It's going to be very windy down there, though. I hope you've got a big anchor with you. It's not going to be the best fishing weather you've ever seen. I can tell you that. Yeah, same thing there in Daviston and Wadley, all of East Alabama and West Georgia. We're looking at a line of thunderstorms. We're hoping it'll be weakening when it moves into East Alabama and West Georgia. Right now, it is producing currently a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings. We just lost that tornado warning up there north of Coleman. So right now, we have a handful of severe thunderstorm warnings stretching from just west of Chattanooga down across northeast Alabama, down across the Coleman area, and back to near Jasper. But one note of interest here, though, if you'll look west of Jasper, we have no warnings and no special weather statements. So the southwest flanking tip of this line of thunderstorms would appear to be weakening, and that's what we're looking for. That's the trend that we're looking for. You know, if over the next several volume scans, over maybe the next 15 or 20 minutes, we start to lose these severe thunderstorms up here around Coleman and Albertville, if these severe thunderstorm warnings start to trickle away, then that is the trend you want to look for. If in 30 minutes from now we only have one severe thunderstorm warning up in North Alabama versus what we've got right now, or versus what we had 10 minutes ago, then that's the good sign. That's what we're looking for. And yeah, just in the last 2 or 3 volume scans, we've lost the tornado warning, and we've lost a couple of special weather statements that were in effect over here in Mississippi. So kind of seeing that trend already start to take place. Still too early to call it just yet. It's like we're just going into the fourth quarter, and your team is up by about 3 touchdowns right now. If they score one more touchdown, the odds are pretty good they're going to win the game. So if we start losing more severe thunderstorm warnings here, odds are pretty good that these storms are going to be weaker when they make it through East Alabama and West Georgia. Not trying to downplay this by no means. There's still enough instability out there. All it would take is one small, quick spin-up tornado in your front yard, and it becomes the worst weather day of your life. So, we're not ready to call this off just yet, but I am beginning to see the trend of the forecast that we've been giving you, and that is for these storms to weaken as they move into East Alabama and West Georgia. I agree with you, Nick. But make sure that Deep Cycle Marine battery's got a full charge on it, because your trolling motor's probably going to get a workout today, because it is going to be windy. If it's not already, it is here in northeast Georgia. It's howling outside. Mars and Crossroads in the house. Good morning, Mary Duke. Okay, I'm going to step aside, refill the coffee cup, continue to look at data this morning, and continue to watch what is taking place at this hour across North Alabama. We do have a brand new tornado watch that was issued about 20 minutes ago, and that tornado watch does cover northwest Georgia. And across the Dr. Don coverage area, it gets Carroll County, Calhoun, Cleburne, Talladega, Clay, Randolph, Tallapoosa, Coosa, and Elmore. It does not currently cover Hurd, Troop, Harris, Chambers, or Lee. That could change when the storms get a little bit closer. If the storms maintain their intensity, we believe that the storms will continue to slowly weaken as they march toward East Alabama and West Georgia. And just in the last few minutes, we're beginning to see what may be a weakening trend. It's still too early to say for sure, but we're going to monitor that for you. We'll be back at least with an update within the next hour. And then as soon as the storms get close enough to us to warrant, then we'll come back and stay with you with wall-to-wall coverage until we get these storms through East Alabama and West Georgia. Timing pretty good on this one. It's on a Saturday morning, so I'm all yours until we get them out of here. Stay with us. We'll be back with more coverage on Dr. Don's Weather.